Nigeria's e-commerce and digital landscape is the biggest economies in Africa, according to reporters. Current e-commerce spending in the country is estimated at $12 billion and it's projected to reach $75 billion in 2025. So according to a PayU report, consumers on the continent spend more on clothing in 2019 and food in 2020 than any other e-commerce category. So other categories of online shopping expenses, including electronics, gadget, video, games, food, etc. So let's get talking. We have Mr. Olushola Popola in the house. He's the chartered accountant and CEO, Rich Vision Digital Cooperative. Thank you for finding time to join us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. It's a great privilege to be here with you.
So given this figure, the sector is worth $13 billion. Not only that it's worth $13 billion, but the current spending capacity of Nigerians, it's estimated at $12 billion. What do you suppose are the factors responsible for this growth or for these numbers?
Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for having me again on the program. When you talk about the growth of the e-commerce in Nigeria, I don't, how will I put it? I won't say thank God for coronavirus. It's, everything, they say behind everything, there's a silver lining behind every cloud. And, behind the coronavirus with all its negativities, but just on the other side of it, I'm able to see that that period took us like 2-3 years beyond where we should have been as far as e-commerce is concerned. Because a lot of things that people get to start doing during that lockdown period, many persons never thought they could do that. People never thought they could sell things online. People never thought that they could go to church online. People never thought that they could do, that I have to be in the gym to do the exercise. But then some people started creating content, video content, and I can pay to a gym guy and it's training me from home and things. And I can make orders from stores and get it delivered to my house. Not that they weren't existing before, but the awareness increased when that period, the lockdown period. So these are some of the things that has boosted the awareness. Then the other part, which is also a contributing factor, is the usage of the mobile devices. A lot of people now use, before now we had these other kind of phones that can browse the internet and things. Now people are having more apps on their phones, the event of apps, people using applications in different forms and formats, and then access to data also. The telcos, even though we are not having it so cheap, but it's available, and it makes people. So those are some of the things that has made the advent of e-commerce to surge so high. And then you have to look at something also that is very prevalent. It's looking at our population. We have a population that is predominantly youth driven. Almost about close to 68% of our population are youths, and youths are mobile. Before now, technology was not there, but now with youths, they want to get everything on the go. They want to know what is happening. So, and they are very adventurous. So before now, when they tell you, put your card online, put the details of your card, you say, me, my card, I can't. That was the old generation. But this new generation don't even they just want to get it done. Is it going to be delivered to my house? Can I have it now? So they drive those things, and it's made the e-commerce something to drive very, very well, and the awareness is getting better and better every day.
Let's look at some trends, new trends in the market. We've seen a lot of investors coming into the market. The existing platforms are there. you have a lot of them out there who are that are there today. But let's talk about some trends that we need to begin to watch out for. Yes, you've talked about the fact that the lockdown actually contributed significantly to the awareness and the usage of e-commerce, to better live life. But let's look at some trend that we should start watching out from. What are some of the things that that the pandemic has brought, and then that we should start leveraging on?
Okay, awesome. Now, some of the things that we should be looking out for now, it's you will see a lot of persons that are going to be gainfully employed, self-employed, without needing to go to an office or report anywhere. Some of the things we'll be seeing now is that you will see offices will suddenly realize that they don't need this gigantic structure anymore, that even some of their staffs can work from home. This is already happening, as you see in many of our banks today. Before now, how dare you as a banker say you are not going to the office? What are you doing at home? Nobody believes you can do banking work from home. But today, up till today, I still have friends in the banking sector that have not resumed to the office. They still work from home, which was not done before. So what the things we're going to be seeing now is people coming and realizing that, oh, I can go into retail business, into drop shipping. I don't need to have the money to buy the product. I can just, we have quite a number of people who don't even have a store. All they just have is a website, a page, and they are selling shoes, they are selling bags. They don't have capital to even go buy those things. They just go to the manufacturer or to the supplier and have a simple discussion with them. This is what I own, this is what I run. I'm going to be giving you contact, I will give you leads, they will come. If they pay money into the account, you send the product to them, give me my own commission. And we see thousands of people who are already doing that right now. So you're going to see a lot of self-employed people who are giving various kind of services online. Before now, if I want to get an architect or somebody to do a particular kind of job for me.
We'll come back, but let's quickly take a break now. When we come back, of course, we'll talk more. There are a lot of issues that I want us to explore today in terms of opportunity and the size of the market and what to look forward to. But let's quickly take a break. Now you're watching Business Breakfast. We'll take a moment. We'll be back to talk more. Please stay with us. Glad to have you back now. Let's continue the conversation as we look at the opportunities in Nigeria's e-commerce sector and some of the new trends in that sector. Mr. Olushola Popola is still our guest, Chartered Accountant, CEO, Rich Vision Digital Cooperative. Thank you for your time. Let's continue from where we stopped. Talking about, because before you were talking about the fact that this is creating opportunities for young people who don't have to look for a job anymore. I think we should continue from that note.
All right. Just like as I was saying, it's something that the government should latch on to improve the infrastructures and things to help the populace. Because the demographic that we have now will continue for a while. Over 60% of the population have been youth and things, and we're in an era where everybody wants things to be done as quickly as possible. Yeah. So now there's a kind of competition. The economic environment is very competitive, that if I want to get a particular service now, if I'm engaging you, I can go online and check for someone who can do that stuff. I do a lot of things. Before now, I want to print something, I must see my printer, I must do this. But now I go online and I search and I say things. So now what we should be looking at is, from why I said government should latch on it, is to encourage the youth to develop more skill sets that they can easily market digitally. There's no skill set that cannot be marketed digitally. When you talk of e-commerce, you are talking of electronic buying and selling of goods and services.
So it's not just about goods.
It's not just about goods.
You can also put your services out there.
Anything. So you can be in Nigeria here because these things are going to increase our internet generated revenue. You can be in Nigeria here and be employed and engaged by somebody who is in the US. And you stay in Nigeria and do this stuff. So things that we need to start doing as a government, or that the government needs to start doing, it's encourage the youth into skill acquisitions. It's not just the academic kind of thing. What kind of skills? Now, if I want IT-related services now, without blinking my eyes, I know the country to search for. I'll be checking somewhere in India because I know these guys are good on these stuffs. So what are those things or which area are we going to be developing, channeling the strength of our youth to? They need to be guided. It's not just the youth, but just everybody. So when we look at developing those skills, then we need to put the infrastructure in place also. Because one of the major challenge of e-commerce is infrastructures in Nigeria. Now, take for instance, people who run drop shipping, you buy online and you get supplied and things. I want it just like now. But if you look at the major ones, I think I can, the Konga, the Jumia, and things that sell products online, they will tell you 1 week delivery. I need it now. But why?
Because that's where I actually wanted to ask question. What can we be, now we've recorded this success, and with the number of the valuation we're getting, about 12 billion, 13 billion dollars. I mean, it's a success story. That means there could be more. So talking about infrastructure, what are the things in terms of infrastructure that we need to improve? What are the areas of infrastructure we need to improve? I mean, we have a lot that we can talk about.
Yeah, there's so much. I hope we can exhaust them here. Now, first, you want to talk about on our roads, congestion on the roads. The man has to go make delivery. He's stuck in traffic. So most of the time, these delivery guys have to use the bike guys, which is a kind of risk and things to them. Even when those bike guys are going, you still see government officials stop them, delay them for whatsoever God knows reasons. So that's one. We have to, if we have good roads, then I can have a delivery van that can supply a certain area than have just one bike man or 5 bike guys going to supply the same area. Good roads. Then another thing that is very important as far as e-commerce is concerned that we enhance it in Nigeria is to have adequate numbering of houses in Nigeria. Proper numbering. Most of the time now, one of the challenges that you see with the people that do drop shipping is that you can't get the address of people. Where do you stay? My house is near this church. There are many houses near that church. So how do I, when we have adequate numbering of houses and
talking
things,
about proper urban planning and
planning,
setting.
exactly. And you see this is done, it's fair in this, maybe in Lagos and some other urban cities. But if you go to the other states and things that are not central. But when you talk of e-commerce, I'm not just talking about Lagos, we are talking about the globe. It's a global thing. So that is one. Then another thing is government needs to create policies on financial policies that are e-commerce friendly. When I say financial policies that are e-commerce friendly, like recently you hear the central bank clamp down on cryptocurrency. Some people's bank are being,
maybe banned
not to trade and particular things and things like that. This is not going to aid or help the digital economy. Digital economy needs different payment methods. You must look at what is that thing that suits me. Like in the US, in advanced countries, you will see people have opportunity to pay with maybe PayPal, Skrill. These are not government-owned organizations, but there are regulations anyway, because there's no business that operates outside government regulations. all business, and the same thing with e-commerce.
But let's talk about regulation now. It's Nigeria's e-commerce sector regulated as it is now?
As we say, we said it is, let's say about 65% regulated, because the reason why, partially, and the reason is this: for you to show your face as a business, you have to be a registered company. Most people that want to relate with you online, they want to check you out. Are you registered? So, quote and unquote, somehow you are registered with the government, and when you are putting up your memo and article and things, you put it there that you are going to go into digital, and all these stuffs. Then, two, for you to do operation as a good business person, you need to be paying your tax. You need to, you have a bank account and things. All those things, government has an eye there. That's why I will not say direct intervention, but maybe let's call it partial control. And then in the digital space, because our IC is still novel. It's not as if it's grounded. We just had the Minister of Digital Economy. That's not been before. It's like a new portfolio and things. So, and new things will be coming. So as the economy grows, as digital economy participation of people in the economy continues to grow, it will policies will be made. I remember quite some times ago going into one of these banks. We started, one of the people that started this VTU virtual top up
this virtual transaction.
So my company then, we was selling out airtime using the website. It wasn't common then. And then we needed to expand the business, and we approached some banks to give us facilities. And the bank told us, after seeing all our books, everything is okay. They asked us, okay, where is your stock? Stock? We just told you we are virtual. They said, no. That was how they denied us that stuff, because they couldn't comprehend that, okay, if anything goes wrong, we're going to get our stock. We know if you have the stock somewhere, we can. So those are some of the things that are, but today it will be a different ball game, because the banks too now know that there are some people that can have virtual stock. How can we take control of those virtual stock and things? So these are areas that can be improved upon in this era.
We've seen statistics showing that, internet penetration is about 70% in Nigeria, but now the rest of the 30%, it's left out of this equation. How do you think we can factor in the rest of this 30% if we must dip in the e-commerce sector?
Well, that is a tall order. Why I say it's a tall one is because you look at the economy. Is it cheap to go online? It's not. For you to be online, as I speak to you now, you should have data, which you gotta buy. You need a very good phone, mobile phone. Now, you do the 30% you are talking about. Maybe most of them are in the rural areas. The uneducated, no, it's not uneducated, no. Because there are a lot of uneducated people that have devices that are even more. So the people that are not IT, they are
IT savvy.
IT savvy. So, and then you look at the infrastructures. In the villages, do we have the infrastructures there? They just provided enough infrastructures for them to make calls. And when you are making calls, just go to your village and try to make calls.
So these are some of the challenges
that they must be addressed. Income per capita have to be increased to some certain level for you to have the kind of 100% expectation that we have.
I think we need to go on break now, but when we come back from this break, I think we'll be delving properly now how to get started for someone who is watching and say, look, I want to get started in this space and take a part of this money, take share of this, this value. I think we need to talk about that when we come back from this break. You're also watching Business Breakfast. To call Nigeria's e-commerce market is projected to reach $75 billion in revenue by 2025. So the questions are, what are the opportunities in this market for Nigerian entrepreneurs, and what are the markets? Where are they? So that's our focus when we come back from this break. Please stay with us. Glad to have you back now. We'll be looking at Nigeria's e-commerce sector and the opportunities in this space. Mr. Olushola Popola is Chartered Accountant, CEO, Rich Vision Cooperative. He's still here with us in the studio. Thank you for your time. Now, let's talk more about taking advantage of the opportunity for someone who is watching and say, look, I need to start doing something. So how does that person start? I think we should start from there.
Awesome. I think this is the best. This is the part I love best. All right. Now, you're listening to me, listening to this program right now. How do I get involved in e-commerce? How do I get involved in this? The first thing is not the business that you want to do. The first thing is you must be a person of vision. Do you have a clear vision of what you really want to do? You must have that drive that I want to achieve this. And once your vision is clear of what you want for yourself, you will begin to see opportunities around that vision.
So first, vision.
The vision. It's a without vision, people, you remain poor. That's the truth. Without a clear vision, you remain poor. You remain somebody that serves. So when the vision is clear, this is what I want to achieve, then you begin to see opportunities that we form or that we align with your vision. Now, with that said, you should be a creative person. You must be creative in thinking. I look at my area, okay, this is what I want to achieve in life. And then I begin to think, which area what can I do? I have a purpose in life, and I said, I want to impact a lot of people in some certain areas. And based on my vision, just one day during the pandemic, an idea just came. We can start something like this digitally. And we can start this, people can do this. Based on the vision, we're going to help a lot of people. That's why I say vision first, then be creative. Nobody has ever done this before. We can do it. And that's how we started the Read Vision digital cooperative platform. Besides saying, nobody's done this, the kind of thing, how do you secure your money? So you must be a creative person. You must be adventurous. And then look at that line. And when you look at the line that you want to address, you must acquire skills in that particular area. Now, the challenge is, many of us, you hear that, oh, blogging is good. Doing some things online. You just hear people saying it. And the only stories you hear is the story of somebody that made 10 million, somebody that built houses in a GRA and things from doing it. And then you jump into it without acquiring the skill. So you need the skill set. So you must develop
skills, very important.
Develop skills for that particular
I would like us, because in this second part, I would like us to focus on two major areas. Of course, one aspect is service, which we talked about earlier, and the other aspect are goods. You talked about it earlier. I have a figure with me or a statistic with me that 5 major categories of e-commerce in 2020, between 2019 and 2021 were the most focused. For instance, the fashion, the beauty industry, the cosmetics, in 2020 made about $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
And you also have the furniture, appliances, electronics, media, care, and all of toy as well, and food and personnel. But let's talk first about what aspect. For instance, someone, yes, vision is important, but someone will say, okay, yes, I have the vision. I know what I want to do. But how can I use these numbers as an investor? How helpful can these numbers, these statistics, help my business. I think that's what we need to talk about now.
Okay. Now, if we look at it, having put the vision and things in place, what you now begin to look at, these numbers are just like a scratch compared to what we have in the offing. Because you're talking about a population of about 200 million people and ever growing. So to take advantage of this, you have to cut out your niche. Do I want to address the fashion? Do I want to go into the food? And it's not that I don't have to take the whole part of the fashion industry. I can just take a particular thing. Now let's address that man, that woman who is looking at this and say, I wish I even started this, but I don't even have the money to even start in the first place. Because you have people who have the money to do it and people that don't even have the money to do it. Now, someone that does not have the money to do it, one of the things you can do to do yourself is if you can invest in yourself and have what you call a little website. Because when you talk about digital, you must have an online presence. It's not the brick and mortar kind of thing. You must have an online presence. So the basic thing that you need to do is create an online presence. Now, how do you create an online presence? Everybody thinks, oh, you just need to YouTube, you must create a website page. Some people don't need to have website. We have different social medias platform that people use, such as the YouTube, the Facebook, and and all the things that you have. So you must create an online presence. You don't need so much money to design a big website. There are free blogs, free sites that you can use and create content. So the part of you now is to know that field that you want and create content. If people come to your website, what do they want to see? What is going to attract them? What is going to make it different from every other thing that they've been saying? So content creation, when we say content creation, it does not mean I know how to write articles and things. Content creation, I remember way back then, I wanted to go into this, e-commerce stuff. And then I saw somebody, my wife bought some clothes and it was very expensive. We said, this thing can be sold, that this is the cost in the market and this. What we did, we just went to a person who is supplying, who is a bulk purchaser of these stuffs. And then we put up a site, went to the shop and took the pictures. It didn't cost us anything. You don't have to have everything. If you are waiting to have everything, you will start nothing. So use they say think and grow rich. Create that online presence. Look at depending on what you want to do. Depending on what you want to do, you can sell you can look at a restaurant and help them to sell. You are not the one cooking. I mean, if I can be in the food industry, I might not cook one meal, but I will sell food to people
using your e-commerce
my e-commerce. I just direct people. A lot of people are coming. What kind of food do you want? Banga soup, these and things, we have it available. And what I'm going to do is make a connection with somebody who is doing it. And then make sure that service is always, so anytime, just make your order, we get it supplied, we get it to you in 24 hours. I don't need to have riders, I just call riders and tell them, come, for everyone you deliver, this is the commission you're going to get. So you can start from nothing and become a successful person using these are the opportunities that e-commerce gives you. So the first thing, you have a clear vision. You must be able to brand yourself. You must be able to have very good online presence.
All right,
which is very key.
Let's talk about the future of e-commerce in Nigeria. Yes, of course, we've seen the projections, we've seen the numbers, what has been recorded in the last 1-2 years. The projections about $75 billion in the next 4 years. Now, how can you, as an entrepreneur, take advantage or take a part of that numbers when it comes to factoring, e-commerce into your business?
Yeah.
As a wrap up now.
All right.
So I'm talking about in terms of the future.
In terms of the future.
Yes.
Basically, just like we said, your online presence. Branding yourself as the go-to person. The go-to person, I mean, is that are you searching for this online? This person can attend to you. And when people have great experiences with you, they will refer their friends to you. So one, you must, this time, if you want to take advantage, you must, of the future, you must develop your online skills and then make your product or services top notch, very good quality. Not that people will make this particular order and when it gets delivered is a different thing that they are seeing. So what am I going to make my service one that everybody will want to have? So these are the things you want to put in place, and then it's going to cost. At times, it comes to the cost, marketing cost, branding cost, and things. You want everybody to, when they are turning here, when they call this name, they think about you. So principally, develop yourself, develop quality in your product and in your services. With that, you become that brand that people will seek after.
I think we need to leave it there. Thank you so much, Olu Sholak-Popola, Chartered Accountant, CEO, Rich Vision Digital Cooperative. Thank you for coming on the program.
It's a privilege. Thank you very much for having me.